let's take a break from that real quick because I've just given the thumbs up that Billy, this is a real treat right here because I like this guy right here. Next to Dirk, this is my favorite Mav right here of all time.
Okay.
You know, this guy right here. We're going to talk about a game that means the world to me, but we'll get to that in a second. But join us right now. Good buddy of mine, I've seen him down at the AAC, hung out with him a couple times. Big fan of his work off the court. He's doing a little coaching now. But join us right now is former Dallas Mavs Josh Howard. And I'd be remiss, man, if I didn't ask, how are you doing, man?
I can't complain, Walt, man. I appreciate you having me.
Oh, man, anytime. Listen, man, the opportunity to have you on this show is a gem, man. We big. I don't know about Billy. Well, Billy is too, but I'm a big fan of yours. Long and far.
Josh, I'm a big fan too. Don't just let this guy run off with you. I'm a big fan as well, man. Big fan.
Listen. I don't want to wait. I don't want to beat around the bush. Let's talk about it, okay? I want to talk about December 7th, 2007 in the AAC. We just showed the clip before you came on. Josh Howard going for 47 at the American Airlines Center. Talk me through, chat me up. What is Dirk saying to you? Who's giving you the green light? What's Avery Johnson? What's he? What is he saying at that time? Is he gassing you up? Well, just talk to me, man. I'm gonna sit back and just enjoy this.
To be honest, they kind of just like let me go. You know, I think at that point in my career, I kind of settled in with playing with the superstar and Dirk Nowitzki. So I knew what, you know, they expected of me. So in that particular night, you know, I think it was against Utah, if I'm not mistaken. One of the toughest defensive teams in the league, you know, and for me to be able to do that against, I think it was like Matt Harpring, AK-47, Carlos Boozer, Darren Williams, man. I mean, collectively as a group, all those guys guarded me. I just was zoned out, you know, and all I can remember was like the rim was just being big as the ocean. I know you hear a lot of basketball players reference that, but honestly, fellas, like it felt like anything that I put up that night, you know, and you know it went in. So you know, to enjoy that night and you know to be able to do it against a team like Utah, rest in peace, Jerry Sloan, another great coach in the league. You know, I enjoyed that moment, man. I appreciate you putting that out there for me.
Man, listen, man, I had the pleasure of meeting and hanging around Dirk his last 2 years, and man, it just every time I see him, I just think about 06, y'all two in the finals. Just talk. Let's go back to 06 real quick. Somebody asked me a good question. They wanted me to ask you. Do you feel like the finals were fixed that year?
I mean, from what, you know, everybody in the league and the basketball world was saying it was, you know, I know they had that issue with the referee point shaving, and I know he, you know, played a part in I think game 3 or not as far as refereeing our games, but you know, at the end of the day, hats off to Miami for, I guess, coming out there and coming back the way they did and winning those 4 games in a row. Definitely something that is always going to be in the back of your mind. But, you know, at the end of the day, we fought a tough fight, you know, and I think, you know, as a group collectively, and I know Dirk learned a lot from him because him and JT, I think, were the only two in 2011. I think Darryl Armstrong as well were the only 3 remaining guys from that 06 team. So, to see those guys win it, and I definitely was in town too when Dallas won it. It was a definitely exciting moment to see those guys win that. But again, as far as the cheating part, you know, I never really cared about that. I just know at the end of the day, we had an opportunity to win that thing, you know. So, you know, it slipped out our hands, man. But, you know, the opportunity again to be one of the few, you know, NBA players to make it to a finals is something that nobody could ever take away from me too. So I'm definitely going to always remember that moment.
So, if you can go back a little bit further, how did the trade end up happening with you leaving the Mavericks?
I guess, you know, like any other typical trade, you know, I found out kind of through my agent. I kind of knew, you know, as far as that time, like it was probably time to, you know, explore my options elsewhere. And I think the Mavs felt the same. So wasn't no biggie, you know. I just got to go play for Washington, which was a different experience for sure. But I definitely enjoyed that as well. You know, got to play alongside John Wall, Kurt Heinrich, to name a few.
Hey, let me tell you something. That's one of my favorite point guards right there, Kurt Heinrich, out there in Kansas. I loved him with the Bulls, man. You know, back when because you come from the 03 draft class. And I can't remember which 2K it was, and they had a team where it was the 03 draft class. Man, I used to run with y'all so hard, man. Oh, I used to run with y'all so hard.
Hey, people sleep on that class, man. Like I say, just doing my research there, we was one of the top classes to ever come out, man. So again, to be a part of that type of history, definitely cool.
So what that would be? I would say it'd be 84, 96, and then you 03.
3.
Yeah,
I would rank it like that.
Like that.
Just like that.
I would too, bro. Yeah,
So,
I don't want to step on no old school toes.
So, do you get a chance to watch a lot of Maverick games now? I know you're doing a lot of coaching in your spare time. So let me ask you this real quick.
I'm listening.
Josh Richardson came here, and the first person he was compared to was you. How did that make you feel?
It's definitely flattering to be compared. Young fella definitely goes out there and plays his hardest. Like I said, I haven't really had a chance to lay my eyes on him for a solid season, but the things I've heard about him definitely, speaks volumes about him being an excellent player down the road. And as long as he keeps growing and playing hard the way he does, I think, his career can be long.
Yes. Okay. So when I watch him, I see a little Josh Howard in him, just a little bit. When I say that, his defense, like we saw last night, is off the chain. And man, there was just a certain part of your game. It was so that I don't know. I think it was your shot. It was a little old schoolish to me that I liked about it. Just
a little slingshot.
Yeah, it was a little slingshot, right?
Yeah, but I just, like I said, just getting comfortable with knocking down my shots. I was more of a mid-range guy. So, if I can get inside that 3-point line, that's what I was trying to do.
So when you watch the Mavs now, what do you feel about Luka? What do you feel they missing? What do you feel they need? What do you feel right there?
That's a good question, because I've been asked that before, and I feel like they got all the pieces. With you talking about Josh, I like Carter Finley as well as far as key role players out there. Of course, Porzingis definitely holds the paint down. I just think overall it's just going to come a time where people are going to sleep on them like they did in 2011, and they're going to sneak right back into the finals again. I can't really point out anything. Rick and them do a great job on the defensive schemes. It's kind of like old times as far as my view. I just think it's going to take the right lineup, right games they play to push them over the hump.
Hey, Josh, first off, thank you for showing up for us tonight, man. This is really big. I've always been a big fan of yours. So, yeah, absolutely. So I want to go back to a time back in 2004. Okay, I was a freshman in college, went to the University of North Texas, and shout out to the Mean Green. And so I was there, and during that time, we had like a big rivalry, Dallas versus Houston, right? We hated them, they hated us, though it was just on a college campus. And I used to argue with those guys all the time. It's like, listen, Josh Howard is a very, very special player. Now, I'm not gonna say any names here, but some of those Houston people were like, he's not this, he's not that, he's not this, he's not that. Where do you think you were on that Mavericks team? Do you feel like you were maybe like the second or third best player? I mean, we all know everybody went to Dirk. Dirk was the guy. But where do you feel like you landed amongst that roster and when you came in the league and your contributions towards the team?
Well, I definitely felt like I was high on the list as far as contributing to the team. Excuse my language.
It's internet radio. You can let it rip.
Okay, all right. Thank you for telling me that.
Yeah, go in.
Well, please. Yeah, man. Just in general, I knew I played a major part in those teams. Whether it be the second or third or fourth. I just knew, especially at the beginning of the games, that my team needed me to definitely step up and give them a spark.
Right.
I can always remember Jason Terry calling me the party starter.
Okay.
And that was something that Avery basically depended on me to do, because, I think at one point I was averaging like 11 points in the first quarter. And I remember that as far as like something that Avery and them always leaned on me to do. So I guess you can say, especially me being a coach now and seeing how teams can get off to a slow start and that can put you in the hole, I kind of definitely knew that was my role. And, again, if I didn't do that, I think we got into the hole a lot of the times. And that was a lot of work to put on Dirk and Jed and Damp and all the other guys that we needed to definitely win the game. So, I understood my role. So, yeah, I was probably high on the priority list.
Yeah, absolutely. I used to tell people all the time, and maybe you can confirm this. I felt like when in those early years of your career, man, I felt like when I would watch the games, it seemed like they ran set plays for you to get you going early and often, because you were like the guy that if we can get Josh going out here, man, that's just gonna make it a lot easier for Dirk and some of these other guys that are playing. It just seemed like we were always coming off a pick and shooting right off the elbow all the time, man. Was I seeing that wrong, or was that actually what was going on out there?
Exactly. You're a student of the game, and that's exactly what was going on. And a lot of times when I had to defer to Dirk and Jet, I knew I could get my points in transition because I didn't need a play call for me.
Right.
So again, you know, for me, understanding the game and like you understanding it, you have to play your part. You got to know your role. And a lot of these young men and women out there in these basketball leagues and stuff don't understand that, man.
Yeah.
So a lot of times you catch people out there talking crazy and not knowing what the heck they're talking about, you know. So
yeah, well,
I enjoy
it. You know what, Josh? I was that guy before I put my nose in it. I was that guy. I was out there I was out there parading, being a homer for the home team and everything. And so I would say some pretty outlandish things out there, man. But I've grown and developed since that time. So.
I appreciate you for even admitting that. A lot of people wouldn't even admit that, bro. So that's hats off to you, dude.
Yeah. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it.
Josh Howard, listen, you missed it real quick, but we got a special guest here in the studio. This is the reason why we're here tonight. I know you never tune in the show, but he's the highlight of the night. He's the reason we're here. He's at Tovas10 on Twitter. When you get a chance, people get over there and follow his account. He's probably the biggest Maverick fan in this room right now. He's been to almost every Maverick game. He was there last night, as a matter of fact. He was there last night. But I just want to introduce him real quick because he's got a question for you. Go ahead, Vosh.
Hey, what's going on, Josh? So like Walt just said, I was at the Maverick games last night, and I'm taken aback by how what I see in a solid role player, aka a number 2 player in Kristaps Porzingis. And so basically, when I compare Kristaps to Luka, I look back on the old Mavericks teams and I go, hey, who was Dirk's pretty much favorite teammate? Who was Dirk's most effective teammate when it came to pretty much being in the prime of his career? And I don't go to Jet. I don't go to Jason Kidd. I don't go to Tyson Chandler. For some reason, I always go back to some guy who played in the ACC named Josh Howard.
Oh my God, yeah.
And I go. Well, there was always this famous stat: when Josh scores over 20, the Mavericks do this, the Mavericks do that. And so I always look at Luka and I ask myself, who is Luka's Josh Howard? So I'm asking you that. Do you think that Kristaps Porzingis is pretty much the Josh Howard of today's Mavericks?
Ooh, that's a good one because I've watched enough to say maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I might have lost y'all.
No, we're here. We good.
Okay. Yeah. So and I say that not disrespect KP's game because he definitely can fill up the stats. I just think they might be missing the Josh Howard that played maybe like that third role that understood like he had to play defense in the fourth quarter, or I had to make that big stop, in the third quarter when maybe Kobe was getting ready to give us one of those Mamba mentality nights. I'm saying that I stopped this whole night, but I had to maybe stop that one possession.
Right.
So with that being said, that's where I say like I guess I can say this, and I'm not down in the role players, but it's just like another level of stepping up. I would say to get the Mavs to that championship level again, and again, like the right games that I think they can mess around and play in the playoffs to get them right back to the finals like they were in 2011. So that was a great question too, because
Thank you.
KP can definitely fill it up, but like I say, I think sometimes we miss like that third and fourth element, when we need those. Well, and I say that too because we make some big runs and win some big games that a lot of people don't expect us to win, especially last season. So. I think, like I said, we're just a moment away from winning.
Let me ask you this. I do want to ask you this, Josh. What was it like playing for old Avery Johnson?
Hey, I just listened to him commentate one of these NCAA games, and it brought back memories. To be honest, fellas, outside of his voice, man, the man knew the game. And, like, I still to this day coaching over there at UNT Dallas. With these college kids, I use some of his philosophies, his thought processes on coming off the horn screen, defensive schemes, things like that. So, Avery definitely is one of the coaches I'll always remember, man. I appreciate him.
Okay, so you did mention a lot of coaching in Dallas, and so I just this past weekend I was able to go check out some high schools, some state finals. Kimball High School, my alma mater. I went to school with Quinn Ross. I know you know him.
You Ross, that's my guy, man.
Yeah. So I went to school with him, and then I look at the talent across DFW, and I just want to ask myself, because in this area in Dallas-Fort Worth, I mean, you have big UNT, you have SMU, you have UTA, even TCU. So where do you get, how do you find the actual time versus trying to, pretty much acquire the talent here in just this city?
Okay, well, for me, fortunate enough, I've been able to use my name for that as far as recruiting. Even before I got on this call with y'all, I was on my work computer, which is right behind this iPad, excuse me, checking my recruiting list as far as my emails. So a lot of guys have just fell in my lap, especially in this area, man. And I've been blessed to get like a Vernon Johnson that went to Waxahachie Life. That was the Ellis County Player of the Year last year, freshman. And that's just a blessing in itself. So, guys like that I've been able to see and be able to just actually want to play for me because of who I am and understand that, at the end of the day, I don't want nothing for these young men outside for them to graduate, number one, and hopefully use me as a stepping stool for them to get to their dreams. So, yeah, this recruiting game I've learned since this will be my 6th year. It can be deadly if you don't know what you're doing, and you definitely got to be honest with these young men out here because a lot of them just living on that dream. So, yeah man, the recruiting game has definitely opened up my eyes, especially in this area too. So,
well,
it's funny. Answer that question.
It's funny you bring that up because I know you know what's going down this weekend. I've got my bracket filled out. Listen, I have been both Villanovas and the Virginia one. I got right. I got those brackets right. What is it? What does it look like? You got Wake Forest. What we looking for? Wake Forest.
Man,
Wake Forest.
Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. We've been rebuilding since 2011, 12, maybe the last time. I think we played the play-in game 2016 or 17. So we kind of been on the up and ups. But just overall, I'm glad we have it back. I'm actually watching Appalachian State, which is in my home state, play against Norfolk State, which is maybe like about 3 hours from my house in North Carolina. So it's pretty good, man. And I'm glad to see, guys are out there playing and actually playing through this COVID thing. So I'm excited about the tournament.
You got any Final Four predictions? Who you got going all the way? I got Michigan. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you this, Josh. I do not have Gonzaga in the Final Four. I have Iowa beating them in the Elite Eight, knocking them out.
Okay. So the only two teams that's really caught my attention throughout the whole year is Illinois and Florida State.
How about Cade Cunningham and Oklahoma State?
Yeah, I like Cade. Definitely being a local product, I want to see him shine. He definitely showed me NBA talent. So, I just think and I know y'all will probably agree with me on this, when they come to that tournament time, the NCAA, them daggone guards got to play some ball. Yeah. So it's got to be a 1-2 punch. And my sleeper team, y'all might not like this.
Here we go.
University of Texas. I like them two guards, boy.
You know who I got? I got sleeper. I'm actually riding the Patrick Ewing train right now. Okay, for sleeper.
Ooh, I like that one too.
Georgetown. I'm riding the Patrick Ewing train on the sleeper. I actually got them beating. I think they're in the Florida State range. Ooh. I think I got them beating them. I do have them going pretty far.
All right, well, you're going to have to shoot me a text on that wall if we got Florida State.
Yeah. I don't know if you were here in I was talking about earlier, 2018. I actually got to go to that when the Loyola hit the shot the AAC.
AAC.
And the roof just about, I thought the roof's about to come off that building when he hit that three.
I know that was some energy.
Man, I have never seen anything like that in my life. That was just one of the greatest scenes. But before we let you go, you got a foundation that you're a part of, right?
Yes, sir. Josh Howard Foundation.
And tell us a little bit more about that real quick.
Well, as of right now, due to COVID, we had to cut some things back, like our after school program back in North Carolina. But we've been able to keep our feeding program going here in Dallas. So that's been something that I partner with the government, where I don't have to ask for no funds from people, and I'm able to go out into these I guess you say low income areas and feed some of these kids out here, and some adults who really don't have an opportunity to get three meals a day. So that's been the biggest thing I've been doing for probably the past 6-7 years now. So it's been a blessing to be able to do that. And then of course with my basketball camps, and I just started an AAU program actually the last 2 years. So it's just things that I've been enjoying doing, things that I didn't have nobody do for me when I was their age, as far as young men and women, kids growing up. So that's just been the cool part about me, I guess retiring, because I definitely enjoyed my 11-year career, and just wanted to continue to give back to my community, especially here in Dallas, because it's like it's my first home now. I make North Carolina my second home, so
there you go.
I just enjoy being here now, man.
Hey, Josh, I do have one last question for you here. And this is actually coming from a couple of our people that are watching. They want to know, what is your opinion on the NBA, the game now, just, in recent years with your Kevin Durant's, your LeBron's. I mean, LeBron was around when you were there, but I mean, do you feel like the game has gotten to a point where it's no longer basketball? It's just like too soft. I mean, that's been an argument that's going on back and forth with the old school from the new school. And I feel like guys like you are like right there in between, so it's like, what do you feel about that?
Before you answer that real quick, I just want to make it known that I am a guy who appreciates a guy who can go to the strip club, come back and give me 40 a night. I can appreciate that. I will, if you're my guy and you got to have that to win, I will get you a plane. I will fill it up with burgers, and I will get you straight to get to the game.
That's that Harden plan.
Yeah. That's that Harden plan.
Josh, just before you even answer that, just so you know, I mean, because this guy just paraded around saying how much of a fan of yours he is and everything. What he really is, he's really low key a Houston Rockets fan.
No, man.
He won't tell people that. He listen. He gets a lot of love down there in the 713-281 area.
I don't rep 713.
He gets a lot of love down there. So just so you know who you're talking to. Here.
I only rep 214-972. That's it. I don't rep 713.
Oh, wait, I got to answer the question. You made me forget it. With
well, no, we were just asking what you thought about the game of basketball now compared to what it was before. Do you feel like it's gotten too soft, or is it just basketball? Is this what we're looking at now?
Yeah, I think it's the new basketball, I guess you can say. I don't want to say soft, because basketball evolves. I can give an example of using me when I came in the league, or actually when I was about to exit the league, and I could tell like all my other workouts, as far as like I point out Houston, all they wanted me to do was shoot threes. And for me, I wasn't ready to, I guess you could say, convert over to doing just shooting threes, because I was a slasher.
Right.
So, the game's evolving. I guess you could say the only thing I don't like is just the high scoring. And I know they're doing that for ratings, but it's taking guys like myself out the game who can really play defense and know schemes and things of that nature. So, it's a give or take. I guess you just really have to evolve your game, and just be ready to go with change. So, and now if you ask the question like, can these players and this generation handle like the 80s and 90s type basketball? I don't know about that. So that'll be a different type of question right there to answer.
Yeah, it will. We won't even put your feet to the fire on that one, man. We'll let you make it on that one, man.
Don't do me there. Yeah, I'll get you next year on that one.
Yeah.
What'd you say that 47 you put up in 2007? You had that every night.
Hey, listen here. I can tell you the next 2 days I was tired. I mean, dog tired. I still remember that. It's a wear and tear on your body. So I commend like some guys scoring 50 points like that on a regular, because they really sacrifice their bodies to do that, bro. So hats off to them.
Well, Josh, I appreciate you joining us, man. Of course, we gotta when COVID and everything get better. Once I get my Sleepy Joe shot, we gotta have you in the studio, man.
Most definitely, man. I definitely come through there, man, especially in support.
Yeah, man.
And give my team a shout out, because UNT Dallas over there on the south side of things definitely making some noise. So definitely like y'all to get out there too and see them.
Yeah, well, we definitely come out here. Tobias, you love going stuff like that. Me and Tobias can ride out there one night.
Oh yeah,
and come check you out.
Yeah, y'all would enjoy it, man. We play over there Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship, man. So
man,
OCBF.
Man, you know what's funny?
Yeah,
I grew up in that church.
Hey, it's a blessing to be in that type of church because I grew up in that same type of church in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
Tony Evans was my pastor. That's the church I grew up in.
Yes, sir. Great place to be at, man. So most definitely, I'll be looking forward to seeing y'all out there too.
Bet.
No problem,
Sound
man.
good, Josh.
Appreciate you, man. God bless you.
All right, fellas. Y'all
Take it
be
easy.
blessed.
You really? I told you, man. I don't rep number 214.
Listen, man. Listen, Josh is too good of a guy, man, for you to just sit here and just try to sneak away with that, man. He needs to know what you are, man.
Well,
So just tell the people who you
2-1.
are.
I told you I rep 214. Really
No,
972.
we know where you live. We're talking about what you rep.
Yeah, we know where you live,
972.
son.
That's it. 972. I don't rep no
I've
other.
never
area.
seen anyone parade James Harden as much as this guy. That's supposed to be a Mavericks fan.
But
I've
yeah,
never seen it.
I mean, you fat and give me 40. I could live with you.